Okay. Good afternoon or good evening, football fans. Big Al here on this Thursday, November 21st, 2024. And welcome to my Week 12 NFL picks, both straight up and against the spread. Plus a look at the latest college football playoff rankings, which were released Tuesday night. And this injury report for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Cleveland Browns ahead of their divisional clash on Thursday Night Football coming up here in a couple hours. Alright. On this channel, I like doing football content during the season. And most of the time, I talk radio and or television on this channel. So if you want to be informed, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and get notified every time I go live. And before we get into my NFL picks for Week 12 and the Steelers-Browns injury report, let's take a look at the latest college football playoff rankings that were released on Tuesday night. Two teams dropped out. The Iowa State Cyclones, they were at number 17, and the Pittsburgh Panthers at number 18. So that means we have two newcomers into the CFP rankings this week. The first is at number 25, and that's Temple out of the AAC with an 8-2 record. They defeated Temple 52-6, and this week, let's see. They defeated Temple, or no, never mind, I won't even read those. But anyway, number 25 is the Tulane Green Wave from the American Athletic Conference at 8-2. Up one spot to number 24, also in the American Athletic Conference, the Army West Point Black Knights at 9-0. Number 23, up one spot out of the SEC, is the Missouri Tigers at 7-2. Big drop this week for the LSU Tigers, also from the SEC. They fell 7 spots to number 22 with a 6-3 record. The other newcomer is South Carolina. Oh, wait, these are last week's. These are last week's rankings. I gotta get to this week's rankings. Sorry about this, guys. I thought I was on the right week. Turns out okay. So, here's what happened with the CFP rankings. We start at number 25, which is one of 4 newcomers, and that's the Illinois Fighting Illini out of the Big Ten with a 7-3 record. Number 24, the second of the 4 newcomers, comes from the Mountain West Conference, and that's the UNLV Running Rebels at 8-2. Number 23 and holding steady from the SEC is the Missouri Tigers at 7-3. The third newcomer is the Iowa State Cyclones from the Big 12 at number 22 with an 8-2 record. Number 21 also comes to us from the Big 12, and that's the Arizona State Sun Devils, also 8-2. Hey, what's up, Anna? How you doing? Alright, moving up 5 spots to number 20 from the American Athletic Conference are the Tulane Green Wave at 9-2. They'll be playing in their 3rd straight AAC conference title game coming up in a couple of weeks. They'll be playing Army in that game. And speaking of the Army West Point Black Knights, also from the AAC, they're up 5 spots to number 19 at 9-0. Moving up 3 spots to number 18 are the South Carolina Gamecocks from the SEC at 7-3. Number 17 from the ACC are the Clemson Tigers at 8-2. and they're up 3 spots as well. Moving up 1 spot to number 16 are the Colorado Buffaloes, led by Coach Prime, out of the Big 12 at 8-2. No change for the Texas A&M Aggies of the SEC at number 15. They're 8-2. Biggest drop in this week's CFP rankings goes to the Big 12's BYU Cougars, down 8 spots to number 14 with a 9-1 record and a tough game coming up with Arizona State. At number 13, up 1 spot out of the ACC, are the SMU Mustangs at 9-1. Also up 1 spot to number 12. From the Mountain West Conference, you've got the Boise State Broncos, also 9-1. Dropping 4 spots to number 11, you have the Tennessee Volunteers out of the SEC. Up 2 spots to number 10 from the SEC as well, you've got the Georgia Bulldogs at 8-2. Also up 2 spots to number 9, and also coming out of the Southeastern Conference, are the Ole Miss Runnin' Rebels. Alright. Up 1 spot to number 8 from the ACC, you've got the Miami Hurricanes at 9-1. Moving up 3 spots to number 7 from the SEC is the Alabama Crimson Tide at 8-2. Up a couple to number 6 is FBS Independence, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish at 9-1. The top 5 remains the same, and it's pretty much dominated by the Big Ten. Number 5 is the Indiana Hoosiers at 10-0. Number 4 is the Penn State Nittany Lions at 9-1, both out of the Big Ten. Number 3 is Texas at 9-1 out of the SEC. And then the top 2 teams are also from the Big Ten. The Ohio State Buckeyes at number 2 with a 9-1 record. And number 1, you have the Oregon Ducks at 11-0. And also from the Big Ten. The stars next to the team indicates that they have a projected first round bye in the college football playoff. And those teams are Oregon, Texas, Miami, and Boise State. Dropping from the CFP rankings this week, you've got the Kansas State Wildcats, previously at number 16. The Washington State Cougars, previously at number 18. The Louisville Cardinals, previously number 19. And the LSU Tigers, previously at number 22. So that's the latest college football playoff rankings going into week 13. Now let's jump into tonight's injury report for the Steelers and the Browns. And we'll start with the Pittsburgh Steelers, where you have linebacker Alex Highsmith, key contributor on defense. He's out tonight with an ankle. And cornerback Corey Trice Jr., he's also out with a hamstring. And for the Cleveland Browns, tight end Jeff Swaim is out with a concussion. And tackle Jedrick Wills is also out tonight with a knee injury. The rest of the week 12 injury report will be out on Sunday at about 12 noon Eastern, so make sure you join me then for that. In the meantime, let's jump into my week 12 NFL picks, both straight up and against the spread. Week 11 was a very good week for me. I finished 11-3 straight up and 11-3 on my spread picks. So for the season, my straight up record is 108-58. I'm hitting about 65% of my picks. And my ATS record is 84-80-2, which is about 51%, give or take. Let's see if we can continue our hot run here in week 12. And we're going to start off with tonight's AFC North battle on Thursday Night Football between the 8-2 Pittsburgh Steelers and the 2-8 Cleveland Browns. Tonight at 8:15 Eastern on Prime, and the game will be locally televised on a local television station in both Pittsburgh and Cleveland. I'll have to look at 506 Sports and give you that. Alright, so let's do that real quick. Here we go. So if you're in the Pittsburgh and Cleveland areas, you can watch the game locally on WPXI Channel 11, that's the NBC station in Pittsburgh, and on WEWS Channel 5, which is the ABC station in Cleveland. So if you live in the Pittsburgh or Cleveland radio markets, you can watch this game locally over the air. Your announcers tonight are Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, and Kaylee Hartung. The Steelers hanging tight to that number 3 spot in my Week 12 power rankings. The Browns are at 24, but I really should have put these guys lower because they are just a terrible team. Current point spread is Pittsburgh minus 3.5, and the over-under is 37. Now the Steelers are coming off a rather big win over the Baltimore Ravens, and they may not go and put 100% into this game, but I think they'll do just enough to win. I have the Steelers taking it 21-17, the game finishing just over 37, and I'm taking the Steelers as the 3.5 point road favorites. Moving on to Sunday, you've got 7 games in the early portion of the schedule and 3 in the late portion. Kicking off the 1 p.m. games, you got an NFC East battle, and this is the second of 7 divisional matchups this week. The 3-7 Dallas Cowboys still in free fall mode, visiting the 7-4 Washington Commanders. Sunday at 1 p.m. on Fox, your announcers are Joe Davis, Greg Olsen, and Pam Oliver. The Cowboys dropped to number 30 in my Week 12 power rankings, while the Commanders are down to number 11 after losing back-to-back games. Current point spread is Washington minus 10, over-under is 45. I have the Commanders winning this one 31-14, pushed to 45-point total, and I'm taking Washington minus 10. This was initially my lock of the week, but I've changed it to another team, and I'll tell you who that team is shortly. Up next was last week's lock of the week, the 9-1 Detroit Lions, riding an 8-game win streak as they go into Indianapolis to face the 5-6 Colts. Sunday at 1 p.m. on Fox, your announcers are Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, and Megan O'Leary. The Lions are at number 1 once again in my Week 12 power rankings. The Colts are up to number 21 after that thrilling victory last week against the New York Jets. Current point spread is Detroit minus 7.5, over under is 50. I have the Lions winning and covering here. Detroit 31, Indy 14. This game will finish just under 50, but I won't be surprised if the over hits here. And I'm taking the Lions minus 7.5. Our next game is my lock of the week, and that's the 9-1 Kansas City Chiefs at the 3-7 Carolina Panthers. Sunday at 1 p.m. on CBS, your announcers are Ian Eagle, Charles Davis, and Evan Washburn. The Chiefs fell to number 5 in my Week 12 power rankings after that loss to Buffalo last week, and the Panthers sit at number 28. Biggest point spread on the board as Kansas City is favored by 11, and the overall over-under is 43 points. I have the Chiefs rolling over the Panthers in this one, 34-17, although I am pretty skeptical about the Chiefs covering big spreads. I think this is the perfect team to cover a big spread. Anyway, I have the Chiefs winning 34-17. The game goes over 43. And I'm taking Kansas City at minus 11 as my lock of the week. On to the NFC North, where the 8-2 Minnesota Vikings visit the 4-6 Chicago Bears. And yes, they are in free fall mode as well, having dropped 4 in a row. Sunday at 1 p.m. on Fox, your announcers are Kevin Kugler, Darryl Johnston, and Laura Oakman. The Vikings moved up to number 6 in my Week 12 power rankings. The Bears are down to 22. Current point spread is Minnesota minus 3.5. Over-under is 39.5. I have the Vikings winning 27-20. The game going over 39.5. And I'm taking Minnesota minus 3.5. But I will not be surprised if Chicago covers as the home underdog or even wins outright. I will not be surprised if that happens. On to the AFC East as the 3-8 New England Patriots visit the 4-6 Miami Dolphins. Sunday at 1 p.m. on CBS. Your announcers are Spiro Ditas, Adam Archuleta, and Aditi Kinkawala. The Patriots are at number 27 in my Week 12 power rankings. The Dolphins, meanwhile, are at number 18. The Patriots put up a valiant effort against the Rams last week, while the Dolphins had their highest point total of the season, hanging 34 points on the Las Vegas Raiders. Current point spread is Miami minus 7, over-under is 46. But given how good Drake May has played, I think 7 points is way too big of a spread for the Dolphins. I have them winning, don't get me wrong, 24-21. I've got the game going under 46 because many Patriots games tend to go under the total. And I'm taking New England as the road underdog at plus 7. Up next, the 4-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who may be sneaking themselves back into the NFC South title race, visit the 2-8 New York Giants, now with a new signal caller under center in Tommy DeVito. Of course, the big news here is New York benched Daniel Jones and actually bumped him down to third string. So now DeVito will be the starter for the Giants and not backup Drew Lock, unfortunately. Sunday at 1 p.m. on CBS, your announcers are Andrew Catalan, Tiki Barber, Jason McCourty, and AJ Ross. The Bucks are at number 20 in my Week 12 power rankings, while the Giants are at the very bottom at number 32. Current point spread is Tampa Bay minus 5.5. Over-under is 41.5. I have the Bucks winning 24-16. The game going under 41.5. Just barely, though. And I'm taking Tampa at minus 5.5. Alright, up next, another division showdown. This one from the AFC South. The 2-8 Tennessee Titans at the 7-4 Houston Texans. Sunday at 1 p.m. on CBS. Your announcers are Tom McCarthy, Jay Feely, Ross Tucker, and Amanda Balionis. The Titans are at number 29 in my Week 12 power rankings, and the Texans are at number 13 for, I think, the third week in a row. I'm not sure, but I think it's the third week in a row. Current point spread is Houston minus 9, over-under is 40.5. But something's telling me that the Tennessee Titans will play the Texans tough. So I have Houston winning straight up 23-17. The game going under 40.5 just by that hook. And I'm taking Tennessee plus the 9 because I think they have a chance to cover or even backdoor cover in this one. Now to the 3 late games, starting off with the 6-5 Denver Broncos at the 2-8 Las Vegas Raiders in an AFC West showdown. Sunday at 4:05 on CBS. Your announcers are Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, and Melanie Collins. The Raiders sit number 15 in my Week 12 power rankings. I almost said Week 6. The Raiders are down at number 31, but they actually moved up to make room for the Giants going to 32. Current point spread is Denver -6, over-under is 41. Now the Broncos historically have struggled on the road against the Raiders, especially in Vegas. I still have them winning 24-20, the game finishing just over 41, but I'm taking Vegas at home plus the 6 points. And then the last of our division matchups in Week 12 is a battle for the top spot in the NFC West. As the current leaders, the 6-4 Arizona Cardinals visit the 5-5 Seattle Seahawks. Now these two teams will play in Arizona in 2 weeks. So this is the first of their 2 meetings. Sunday at 4:25 on Fox. Your announcers are Adam Amin, Mark Sanchez, and Christina Pink. The Cardinals are at number 12 in my Week 12 power rankings, while the Seahawks just a couple spots behind at number 14. Current point spread is a pick'em, and the over-under is at 47.5. I think Seattle will win this game 28-24. The game will go over 47.5. And I'm taking Seattle at whatever spread there is at close. Now that's mostly Seattle and Arizona getting this game. The rest of the country will get the 5-5 San Francisco 49ers fighting for their playoff lives as they visit the 7-3 Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. Sunday at 4:25 on Fox. Your announcers are Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, Aaron Andrews, and Tom Rinaldi. Both are in the top 10 in my Week 12 power rankings. San Francisco is number 9, while Green Bay is number 7. Current point spreads, Green Bay -2.5, over-under is 47. The Niners are desperate. If they want to keep their playoff hopes alive, they have to win this game. So I'm taking the Niners in this one, 24-21. I have the game going under 47. And I'm taking San Francisco plus 2.5. Alright, moving on to Sunday Night Football. You've got the 8-2 Philadelphia Eagles riding a 6-game win streak. They're headed out to SoFi to face the 5-5 Los Angeles Rams. Sunday night at 8:20 on NBC and streaming on Peacock. Your announcers are Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, and Melissa Stark. Philly has shot their way up to number 4 in my Week 12 power rankings. The LA Rams are at number 16. As they, the 49ers, and the Seahawks all sit 1 game back of the Cardinals in the dogfight that is the NFC West. Current point spread is Philly -2.5, over-under is 49. This is going to be a tough game for us. There's no question about it. I think Stafford and company will put up quite the fight against us, but I think we'll pull it out at the end. I have my Eagles winning 27-20, the game going under 49, and I'm taking Philly at -2.5. So you have Sunday Night Football at SoFi. Then you have Monday Night Football at SoFi. In my game of the week, it is the Harbaugh Bowl between John Harbaugh's 7-4 Baltimore Ravens and Jim Harbaugh's 7-3 Los Angeles Chargers. Monday night at 8:15 on ESPN and ABC. Your announcers are Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, and Lisa Salters. And both these teams are at the bottom of my top 10 as the Ravens come in number 8 after last week's loss to the Steelers. The Chargers are at number 10 after last Sunday night's win at SoFi against the Cincinnati Bengals. Current point spread is Baltimore -3, over-under is 51. I think Big Brother John will have the advantage here against Little Brother Jim. I have his Ravens winning 28-24. The game going 1 point over 51, and I'm taking Baltimore minus the 3 points. 6 teams off this week, including the 9-2 Buffalo Bills, ranked number 2. The 6-5 Atlanta Falcons, ranked number 17. The 4-7 Cincinnati Bengals, ranked number 19. The 3-8 New York Jets, ranked number 23. The 4-7 New Orleans Saints, ranked at 25. And the 2-9 Jacksonville Jaguars, ranked number 26. And there it is, folks. My Week 12 NFL picks, both straight up and against the spread. The injury report for Thursday Night Football going into Steelers-Browns later tonight. And the third college football playoff rankings going into week number 13 of the college football season. Alright, we will be back Sunday with a look at the rest of the Week 12 injury report, including the Cowboys and Commanders, Eagles and Rams, 49ers and Packers, and all the other games on the schedule still to come. So join me Sunday for that. In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching. Enjoy Thursday Night Football tonight and the rest of the pigskin action this weekend. Peace out.